Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Nicole. It's only a couple of days after the last part, and I've realised, of course, one thing I do need to do yet, which is I need to finish off my online shopping. You may recall that last time I did some online shopping, I slightly messed it up. I picked up an item and tried to give it to Jeff, but it wasn't the right item. So at this point, I think it's definitely not the fuzzy socks. Okay, what actually is left that could theoretically be Jeff's? Because I tried the belt and that didn't work. So only one item left belongs to Jeff. The only one that I don't think is definitely belonging to someone else, well, there's two. There's the fuzzy socks. I'm not giving Jeff the fuzzy socks. And there's the rucksack for carrying various belongings, which I feel like could be Ted. But Ted has so many other items that are so obviously his, like the key ring and the piggy bank and the day planner, and I've already given him the belt, and there's the pocket watch, which I feel way more confident about. So I'm going to go for the rucksack. Yeah, I'm going to go for the rucksack, even though it gives me zeal. I'm going to try and give this to Jeff and see what happens. If it doesn't, I'm going to give it to Ted instead. So rucksack to Jeff. So I called Jeff to my dorm to give him the gift, and guess who's got yet another this is the 6th present I've tried to give to Jeff. This better be good. I shrug off the backpack, rucksack that I bought for Jeff and hand it over to him. Take it. This way you won't be overstuffing your pockets with all that stuff you carry with you. Jeff hums and experimentally tries on the rucksack. He tightens the straps to the appropriate level and grabs them with both hands. I believe this will do. Good thinking on your part, assistant. My thanks. Okay, good. Oh yes, we're up to flipping 90 with Jeff. We are maxed out with Jeff. Mag-flipping-nificent. Oh, but the following afternoon, we're apparently straight into another event after that. But apparently we missed the morning classes, but never mind. So I'm innocently doing homework in my room when I hear it. Thump, thump. What is that? I freeze and slowly pull my earbuds out of my ears to take a look around my small room. Someone knocking on the door, most likely, Nicole. Don't panic too much here. What was that? It sounded like someone banging against the wall. Chandra's not here. It couldn't have been her. Maybe it was from the next room over. Dorm room walls are notoriously thin. But no, once I see the door shaking, I realise someone's knocking, and they really want in. I wonder who the heck it is. Coming! I hop off my bed and head over to my door to open it. The moment it is, the person rushes past me, and I reel back moments too late to avoid them from stepping all over me. I hope your proverbial seat is taken, because I have news. Fantastic news. Ah, good idea. Excellent. Yes, I'm pretty sure at this point no other events are going to occur unless I've got the relationship or the stat up with that person, so I don't need to worry about any other events, but Jeff's happening now. I don't even have to look behind me to know who it is. The overexcited tone is enough to give it away. You know, it's considered rude to just barge in before you're invited. Actually, I think today Jeff has he's got his shirt open with a lower cut than actually Nicole's top has. Excellent. And I have no idea why I'm telling you this, because you're probably way too hyped to listen. Niceties can slide. This is a momentous occasion. For you see, I, Jeff Ryan, have deduced the location of the second troublesome ingredient. I raised my eyebrows a little in surprise. It hasn't been that long since we found the midnight trome flower. Thinking about that time makes me grab my right arm and run my fingers over the freshly changed bandages there. I only learned how to change them because Jeff taught me. I should be able to take them off in a few days or so. So you found out where to find that Apuntia thing? Jeff nods eagerly. Yes, I don't even know how I overlooked it. All I had to do is search online, like you do on your phone when you think I'm not paying attention. Wait, Jeff hired me as his assistant to help him find this ingredient. And before he did that, he hadn't bothered to Google it. And I also didn't These people are all flipping special spanners, aren't they? Blimey. Oh, I know he can see me, but a girl can only listen to someone go on and on before she gets bored. Still, I play it off humbly. Whoops. But that's all it took. Seriously? I could have done that. In fact, I'm kind of amazed you didn't, Nicole. Jeff wags a finger at me as if I'm getting ahead of myself. Learning about Apuntia was the simple task. It is a fruit born from a cactus, by the way. Why not just call it cactus fruit then? That would have been way too simple, hardly becoming of the past alchemist that came before me. Would that be better than being unnecessarily hard? I want to ask Jeff that, but I get the feeling it'd just rain on his parade. Anyway, if Apuntia is just cactus fruit, we can just buy it somewhere, right? Incorrect! Apuntia is such a rare and troublesome ingredient that supermarkets and the like rarely have them in stock. But Jeff bounces the butt with an exaggerated tone of voice someone uses before boasting. It just so happens that a certain restaurant in town serves cactus fruit on their menu. Not alone, mind you, but still, it shouldn't be too difficult to pick out the pieces and save them. Okay, so all we have to do is buy whatever it is that has the cactus fruit and take it home. That's easy. Not exactly. Nervously, Jeff adjusts the collar of his shirt. Remember how I said that opuntia is a rare and troublesome ingredient? Uh-huh. Oh. Should have been obvious from a mile away. This restaurant you're talking about, it's a real fancy one, isn't it? Yes, the type of high-end restaurant that doesn't provide takeout. In order for us to obtain some pieces of opuntia, we'd have to go and dine there like regular patrons. I don't know if I can afford that kind of place. Yes, I can. Look at the $137 in my bank account. I've been doing so much lab work. And I know the restaurant they're talking about. If it's just the normal price, it's $100 to go there. I can afford it right now. Nicole, a girl has made bank. It is time to turn that bank into cactus. Jeff, I would have enough trouble budgeting as it is. Do not worry, assistant. I doubt it will be that expensive, though I have no data to support my claim. If it comes down to it, I will cover you. I stand there in surprise. Is he serious? I don't know exactly how much this restaurant would cost to eat at, but it can't be cheap. Jeff, no. I can pay for myself, I promise. I mean, we haven't seen the prices yet. It's too early to be wigging out about money. Certainly so. However, I had planned to go to that restaurant tonight. Wait, tonight? Tonight? No, Nicole. Yesterday tonight, obviously. No time to dally? Yeah, I get it. Gotta make that potion, blah, blah, blah. I look over at my book and my MP3 player back on my bed. My notebook's still left open to the page I was working on. I never thought I'd be saying this, but I don't know if I can go tonight. Sorry, I've homework to do. I shouldn't put it off. I brace myself, expecting Jeff to launch into some tirade about how I'm the assistant and should do as he says. He doesn't do that. Jeff grows silent, and I watched, oddly surprised by how he seems to think of alternative times. When will you be free then? How about tomorrow? It's Friday, right before the weekend, so perfect to stay out late. Excellent, it will do. Jeff turns to the door and nods his head. I'll see ourselves out then. Goodbye, assistant. Wait, did he really wish me goodbye? The only time I hear that is when Jeff's faking nice. What's going on with him? Bluntly point out, surely it's got to be ask about it, right? Yeah, he's being polite to us, let's be polite back to him. Ask about it. Wait, before you go, can I ask what's up with you lately? What's up with me? You're acting differently, not bad differently, but different. So, nice different. I didn't say that, but yes, it is nice different. I smile and cross my arms in front of my chest. Before, you would barely take my word into account. I was half expecting you to blow up at me when I asked you to reschedule. Ah, I see. Sure, it is annoyingly inconvenient to have to wait another day. But if it's what you require, I've decided to be more responsive to your needs. Oh, Jeff, I'm coming round to you, man. Admittedly, you are still mad and possibly planning to make a date rape drug, which makes me less fond of you, but you're being polite. It's step one. Huh, that's really cool of you, Jeff. Thank you. Though you kind of make me sound like a house pet. Oh, we're almost maxed out with Jeff too. We've almost maxed out. We're almost at max Jeff. Beautiful. I'm sure you would be a popular one, such as a cat or a guinea pig. Anyway, as I was saying, I should be leaving now. Tomorrow evening, we shall find the opuntia. Be ready. I'll be ready, Freddy. Oh, Nicole, go and die in a fire. Once the door slams closed behind Jeff, I head back to my bed and get back to my homework. However, my mind's racing around so fast I can barely concentrate on what I was doing. So tomorrow, it'll just be me and Jeff at a nice restaurant together? Does that mean it's a date? I grit my teeth and grab my pillow tight to my chest. Don't get me wrong, I'm not repulsed by the idea, but ooh, it's weird. We're only friends. Can we even be called friends? Well, I think so. I'm one of the few who knows about his secret self. He's becoming nicer to me. I know way more about him than anyone else. I stop. Is that really saying anything? It's not like I know all that much about him, and it was only recently I decided to change that. An idea hits me. Maybe I can use this to get to know more about him. That's such a good idea that I could scream, We're going to be eating at the restaurant anyway. Might as well make small talk while we're at it. If this works out, I'll know more about him than anyone. I grin eagerly at the thought. Maybe that could be a step towards getting Jeff to open up to other people too. I spend the rest of my day buried in my book and notes. Before I know it, tomorrow rolls along. I spend the day in class completely distracted, more absorbed in what the heck I'm going to wear for my high-class night. I think I have something nice in my closet. Oh man, I hope I do. I don't look like a total wreck in front of Jeff. I mean, in public. Eventually, I settle on a dark blue maxi dress. My shoulders look a little bare with just that on, so I decide to wear a white open blouse over it too. That's a good choice, Nicole. You look nice but classy. I approve. The design is totally made for layering. Kind of inconvenient to wear on its own, but hey, I look hot. Can't deny, that is a nice dress, Nicole. I would go on a date with you myself. As I do my makeup, I check my phone I have precariously perched over the sink and check the time. Okay, good. I have a whole hour left until Jeff wanted to meet. I can finish up my makeup, hoof my way over to the front gate, and then we're off to the cactus fruit hunt. It sounds like an awful lot of work just for that. Yeah, it won't kill me, and eating at a fancy restaurant sounds like it'll be a fun experience. And if I'm being completely honest, I'll probably miss this whole arrangement a little once it's all over. It's admittedly been troublesome at times, but I was never bored. Oh, Jeff, you could. That's not. Shades of brown are not a flattering combination, Jeff. I'm gonna be honest. You've let yourself down a little bit there. That is a ugly little ensemble you've put together. Right. I get to the school gate 15 minutes early, but Jeff is surprisingly already there, probably to make up for being second to the park last time. Wow, hey there, handsome. I know Jeff's style has always leaned towards the formal side, but dang, he can really rock a suit. But not really, it looks like he stepped out of a flipping black and white photo, Nicole. He has this entirely brown ensemble, dress shirt, slacks, tie, blazer, the whole shebang. I feel like I'm seeing a whole new side of him. You look great, I love the tie, it's neat. Jeff proudly adjusts the knot of said neat tie. Oh, this I have several ties. Formal wear has the look of a scientist, wouldn't you agree? I guess it's stuffy enough. The look on Jeff's face makes me giggle. I'm kidding, I agree, don't worry. What about me though? Don't I look fabulous? I jokingly spin in place to show off my clothes. Not that I expect a serious answer from Jeff. That's what makes his response all the more surprising. Assistant, you look marvellous tonight. Just judging his smile is enough to tell me he's being sincere. I giggle sheepishly, taking in the praise. Anyway, if we're both looking good, I'd say we're ready to go. Lead the way. Gladly. After you. Jeff sweeps an arm to gesture in front of him. Then we begin walking in step on our way into town. The Friday night crowd is made up of students from school and other adults. Jeff and I stick out a little in our formal wear, but as we get close to the fancy restaurant, we start seeing more people dressed like us. We actually see tons of people dressed similarly to us. Don't tell me they're all waiting for a chance to eat here. Jeff furrows his brow and looks around the filled waiting area. Stay here. I'll see how long the wait time is. Short, but don't we wait here too long. I look like I was stood up. Jeff purses his lips at my choice of priorities, but nods and makes his way into the restaurant. It takes about 10 minutes for Jeff to make his way back, and he doesn't look like he has good news. Let's talk somewhere else. He gently grabs the crook of my arm and steers me away from the crowd of people. Yep, someone that doesn't want to be overheard using his mean voice. Oh, sorry, I've been putting him in the mean voice the whole time. It's not until we're at the movie theatre near the restaurant that Jeff stops us. Nobody's around. They're probably all inside. How bad is it? A 2-hour wait. Bad. That's not... Just go and wait! 2 hours at a fancy restaurant if you didn't make a reservation is not actually that bad. Plenty of times I'll just say no. There's no... If you didn't make a reservation, you're not getting in. Just go and wait 2 hours. Just do that. Dang, that's a really long wait for some cactus fruit. Are they seriously suggesting that a 2-hour wait is unacceptable for the final ingredient that will let Jeff make the magic friend potion? Alright. Fine. Whatever. I know. Is that what he's going to say? No lecture on why waiting for this fruit is a necessary sacrifice? How our blood, sweat and tears will pave our way to success? I'm not so sure if waiting that long is worth it, but my potion demands it. However, assistant, I don't require for you to be here anymore if that's the case. What? Why? Jeff goes silent. He avoids my gaze for a few moments. There's no need for me to elaborate. An assistant must always follow the orders of her superior. I pout a little at Jeff. Why is he doing this? Then it hits me. Maybe Jeff's trying to send me home so I don't waste my time waiting for this cactus fruit. And if he is, that's incredibly thoughtful of him. Stubbornly, I place my hands on my hips and give Jeff a look that says I'm not going. I'm not that good of an assistant. Sorry. I take a seat in a nearby bench and cross my legs. If you're staying, I'm staying. That's how this is gonna work. Jeff responds to my stubbornness with a shake of his head, but moves over to stand by my side without putting up a fight. Aha! Looks like I'm getting better at persuading him. They gave you one of those beeper things, right? Jeff holds up the black disc in his hand. There's a red glow coming from the inside, and an advertisement from one of the restaurant's drinks is printed in the middle. Kinda reminds me of a fat, fancy coaster. This machine will vibrate and emit obnoxious music when our turn has come up. 2 hours from now. I sigh and slump in my seat. This is going to be a long time to wait. If only there was some sort of activity that took about 2 hours that happens to be conveniently behind you both at this exact moment in time. Little did I know how awkward it was going to be too. We spend the first half hour in awkward silence. It gets to the point where I almost whip up my phone to zone out on Roller. If everything had gone according to plan, I would be getting to know Jeff more over dinner by now. I know we're not technically eating, but this silence is going to kill me. Jeff looks as though he hears me speak up. Physically impossible, but I agree with your hyperbole. Alright, seat your butt, Jeff. I slap the seat next to me on the bench. We're having us a conversation. Jeff smirks and gracefully drops himself next to me. I see nothing wrong with that. This could be an excellent chance to finally discuss the finer points of... Nope. I quickly reach out and press a finger against his lips. I hold my other hand to my own in much the same way. Once Jeff shows no signs of immediately continuing, I return my hands to my lap. The only rule is that from here on out, talking about alchemy is off limits. Off limits? What could you possibly expect me to talk about then? I want you to talk about yourself. Jeff tilts his head. I don't understand the scientific relevance of this. There's nothing scientifically relevant about it, but honestly, I want to know more about you, Jeff. I look down and stare at my knees. I'm not sure I can keep looking right at him if I continue. It's just kind of embarrassing. We've spent all this time together, but it's like I don't know you. You can't be all about alchemy all the time. So I don't care what it is. Anything you want to tell me is fine, like your favourite food, your favourite colour, hobbies, music tastes. I shrug, figuring Jeff has gotten the point. I don't want to force you if you really don't want to. I know you're not really used to being that open about what you really like. Jeff nods. It would take only 4.57 seconds for me to tailor a response to appeal to your personal likes. However, to speak about the things I truly do enjoy... He goes silent as he contemplates whether to go along with it. I hope he does. I want to show him how easy it is to be himself. I know you said the topic was forbidden, but allow me to bring up alchemy for one instance. There is a law, which all alchemists go by, equivalent exchange. You can only produce an amount equal to what you supply. What I mean to say is that if I answer questions, I expect an equivalent of exchange of information in return. Are you saying you want to know more about me too? Precisely. I look to Jeff to try and tell if he's being serious or not, and it doesn't look like he's joking. My lips stretch out into a smile before I can help myself. I don't know why, but knowing that Jeff is interested in getting to know me too makes me happy. Then I'll tell you everything you want to know. Very well. Who should start? That's actually a really good question. Who should start, Jeff or I? Ooh! Okay, this is... okay. How am I going to pick between these two? The thing is, Nicole's such a massive chatterbox, I feel if she starts like running her mouth off, it's going to put Jeff off. So what Jeff ought to do is Jeff should go first, and then whatever he says, I can provide the same information for myself. That's safer. Because if Nicole's a flipping motor mouth, so I don't want to let her go first, so Jeff can go first. I asked you first, that means you have to go first. Oh yes, we are maxed out. We are at maximum Jeff. Jeff is at max. Beautiful. Acceptable. What is it that you wish to know? I come up with a list of basic questions in my head. The ones you'd ask someone if you met them at a social gathering for the first time. Where are you from? Florida. And from what area in state? Isn't that irrelevant? Answering with the state alone still provides an adequate answer. Wow, I'd say you totally suck, but you're doing a pretty good job of being yourself. Who else but Jeff would point out the validity of a simple, curious question? Fine, you're from here. That's cool. I'm from all the way on the west coast, California. Though actually, interestingly, does that mean Jeff ought to have a Florida accent? I don't actually know what a Florida accent is. I'm not sure I've ever heard. I mean, I've been to Florida in the past, years and years ago. I don't remember like a distinctive accent that I ever heard anyone say, but there might well be. I just don't. I probably don't. If there is, I don't know it. So sorry, he's just staying with the evil scientist accent. I do not know what a Florida accent sounds like. Now it's your turn to ask something. I think I've got one. Tell me about your family. Oh, that's surprisingly normal coming from Jeff. I was expecting a question that was way more out there. My family's pretty easy to describe. I have a dad, a mom, and a little brother. My mom and brother are back in California. My dad's here in Florida. He lives a town away. Why do your mother and father live separately? They're separated. They're on good terms, though they weren't always. I chuckle derisively at the next thought that pops into my mind. It's not something I'd easily tell anyone. Do kind of miss having a real family sometimes, but they're happy this way, so I'm happy for them. That's almost disgustingly noble of you. I lower my eyelids as Jeff sneers at me. Oh, shut up. What about you? What's your family like? I can describe mine as simply as you can. Only my grandparents raised me. My poor mother must have thought that raising a child would impede on her horrible lifestyle. She decided that leaving me with her parents would solve that problem. Oh. What can you even say to something like that? Don't be fooled into thinking I'm trying to win your sympathy. Perhaps if my mother did take me with her, that would be the case. But I ended up living far better with my grandparents. They were very kind to me, even though I was my mother's mistake. I knew that, and I didn't want to... Jeff stops and widens his eyes like he's just realised something. Is that how it began? Is that how what began? I've always wondered when I first developed the habit of catering my personality to another. Talking about my grandparents now made me realise it must have started with them. As a child, I did not want to do anything to displease them. They were kind enough to take me in. I decided to watch what they liked and to respond in kind, and I eventually ended up doing it like it was second nature to me. Oh, so it was because you wanted to be the best that you could be for your grandparents that you started putting on this fake personality. And I ended up doing that for all interpersonal relationships. How strange. You'd think I would have figured it out by now. Maybe you just had to find the right person to open up to. I grin and point at myself. But I doubt anyone else would mind if you acted the way you were. Especially your grandparents. You're not a bad person, you're just different. Isn't that still an insult? I meant it as the best compliment I could think of. Jeff bursts out laughing so loudly I could blush. It wasn't that funny. I see. However, that's not happening anytime soon. Not unless everyone became more like you. Assistant. Annoying and pushy. As well as easy to talk to. And amusing. I don't know whether to frown because Jeff agreed or blush because he's complimented me. I do a weird mixture of both. You're making a strange face. It's all your fault. Jeff shrugs, then looks down at his watch trying to check the time. How much time have we killed so far? I check my phone for the time too and frown at what I see. Just a half hour. An hour to go then. Geez, Jeff, I'm sorry, but there has to be an easier way to find cactus fruit. With my phone already out, I figure there's no harm in doing a web search of my own. Come on, internet, don't fail me now. Results immediately pull up for the term cactus fruit, and I thumb down the list to try and find something relevant. Hey, here's something interesting. Did you know that you can also call Arpuntia prickly pears? I squint at my phone screen as I read the next sentence. Actually, that's the name they're best known as. Would searching for that term work better then? I input it into my phone and wait for the results to pop up. Jeff? I turn to him and show him my phone. Did you know that you can buy prickly pear jam at this hipster supermarket we have here in town? Jeff quickly goes over to my phone screen. His eyes widen as he sees I'm completely serious. That is vastly cheaper and more efficient. The two of us lock eyes, probably having the same idea. You should probably give them back the beeper. I would, but I honestly don't care to. Jeff tosses the beeper onto the bench, then takes my hand and pulls me to my feet. To the hipster supermarket, assistant! To the hipster supermarket, assistant. This is possibly the greatest line that has ever been written for any video game script of all time. Won't they think it's weird we're dressed up all fancy like this? The last of my questions scatters into the air as Jeff starts pulling me behind him. No matter! Just think of it as one extravagant shopping trip. You say that, but you're not the one who has to move around in heels. Even as I say that, I'm laughing behind Jeff's wake. I guess I've been through worse. Oh, I guess we go and get the hipster prickly pear jam off screen then. I think with the final bit of buying and that date there, that is enough for one part. But I think hopefully we're getting closer to the end of the game now. So that is indeed very, very interesting, and I will call it a part there. But I will pick this up soon. And in the meantime, I've been Johnson. This has been many a true nerd, and this has been Nicole. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Haha, I'm a genius at time. Oh, okay, this escalated quickly. I'd like to fly your drone. So good about a butterfly in a bucket. What does that tell you about the human condition? Are we the butterfly and is capitalism the bucket? What happens if you go right to the back in time? The very beginning of time. Oh, you literally just burn the universe.